All right, Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakudash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to like up there, doing this work of faith, live with love, true sincerity. All right, I just want to get into a quick topic, basically entitled a Land Without Order, and that gives way by, obviously, the wicked place, America, aka Babylon the Great, in which most of us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans reside in, struggling and striving, the best of our ability for truth's sake. So with that, this is Job 10 and 10 and 21, and it says, "Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness." And we all know that this gives reference to what? America. A lot of pastors, preachers and people in general, you know, uh, when they're going over that Psalms 23 and they talking about the valley of the shadow of death, they truly don't know that it's giving reference way to America, and getting into this verse here where it says, "Before I go whence I shall not return." And that clearly shows you that within the scriptures of what the Lord predicted upon us, if we disobeyed his orders, disobeyed his law, statutes, and commandments. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." So what shall we see no more again? Our homeland. That's what it's referring to. And so what it said, "Before I go whence I shall not return," what? We came here to America on those cargo slave ships, and we are not returning in this present world right now unto our homeland until our big brother Yahweh Shah comes back and makes that second return. And then the real new world is started over, the real new world order, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah and the Israelites, man. That's the real new world order, you know. So going back just to that verse real quick in Job 10. Yeah, so I read it one more time. Job 10 and 21. "Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness." All of these different characteristics of speaking of the land of darkness, without any order, where the light is as darkness, that all gives reference to who and where? America. Because this is truly the land without any order. This is why, the so-called Jews, they set up what? The Talmud, the Noahide laws, all these antinomian subgroups of the Illuminati, which antinomian is basically anti against nomos, meaning law, anti-law. What laws are they anti, or what laws are they against? The laws of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. That's what it all breaks down to. All right. Going to this next one here, pretty much land backing on the same thing. This is Job 12 and Job 12 and 22. And it says, "He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death." Now, why is America the shadow of death? Going back into, well, of course, we all know Psalms 23 or whatever, but just to give other references as well that pertain to the scriptures and the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28 and I start at verse, quite a few, but I'm going to come back to the 20s. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28 and I start at 28. "The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind grope in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So this gives reference to what? A shadow of death. Meaning what? Wherever we walk, there's darkness there. Wherever we walk, there's nothing but dark. It's like a dark cloud that hangs over, you know, uh, our entire being. You know, nothing but dark clouds. Why? Because we were brought here for our punishment. We were brought here to serve slavery, not to live it up here in America. So this is why, on a whole, you see our people struggling and striving, going, having all these different issues with the so-called white man, the society at hand, and everything of how these people look at us on a whole basis. This is why you got so much going on in 2020, just as if we just came over here, you know, fresh off the cargo slave ships. Now, obviously, it's not happening as frequent, it's not to that extent, but the gist is what you still have the same things happening 400 years ago until this very day. This is why the Lord says what? Ye are yet still slaves. Let me grab it. It's the book of Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Okay, so that clearly shows that we are still slaves unto this day, man. There's nothing that you can do, or nothing within that lies within the power of our people within this present time to surpass, what Esau has done, the detriment that he's caused to Israelites on a whole, the psychological damage that he has created, within that fiber of our beings, so on and so forth. And ultimately, what? The Lord has a block upon the majority of our people to not get this knowledge, because everybody isn't meant to obtain the knowledge. Everybody isn't worthy of salvation. We hope that we're worthy of salvation, So going back to that in Deuteronomy. Yeah, I'm gonna jump now. Now I'm gonna get to the 60s. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 65, and it says, "And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, Would God it were evening, and at evening thou shalt say, Would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see." So does this not sound like you're in a shadow with nothing but death hanging over you? Because every which way that our people turn, hey, it's right there. Whether if it's physical, whether it's Esau putting things before us to commit spiritual suicide, so to speak, for our people to dive into idolatrous acts, or to constantly be engulfed in money worshiping, or just worshiping different things within the society, the ways of the so-called white man, their rites, their rituals, their customs, so on and so forth. Those are all forms of death. People longing for to see certain things happen within the society, but they cannot attain it no matter what they do. People failing in their mind because traumas that may have had happen to them. That's a form of death. A trembling heart. What your mind, or your body in general, going through ailments and different things. These are all forms of death that our people suffer at the hands of the so-called white man, and being within this land that has no order. Because why? Esau doesn't follow things like the land Sabbath. They don't follow things in an orderly fashion. They do everything wickedly to increase wickedness upon the earth, and ultimately to destroy us as a people. That's why the Lord had David pretty much talk about them as our whipping stick, right? Yeah, prayer of David. Yeah, this is Psalm 17 and Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. So that's the point of it. These are men who have their portion within this life, and they are truly the whipping stick for the nation of Israel. They are meant to come down on us with great wrath, simply for the fact that this is how the Most High set things up to be. For someone to be punished, you have to have someone that's casting down the punishment. And for that cause, therefore, we have the so-called white man, which is the wicked upon the face of the earth. And that's how it goes. And when you dwell within the land of America and you see how everything is operated, you truly see that there is no order. You truly see that by them casting all these imaginations of bestiality, homosexuality, so on and so forth, that there is no order within this place. There can never truly be order within this place that makes any sense, for the simple fact that they know that they bring, what's the terminology again? Order ab chaos, order out of chaos. They create chaotic situations all the time to bring about the order that they want to, but not the rightful order that the Most High has established that should be upon the face of the earth. So so I just wanted to bring that out, but we know, the orders and the things in which we supposed to follow that are given unto us, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And that's what we live by, the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Not falling into the castings of the so-called white man and everything that he has to offer, because whatever he has to offer is truly not worth our time of the day. That's why more so as time goes on, what our focus is supposed to be toward the Lord as much as possible. With so many distractions that's here within the world, it can be challenging, but ultimately we know what we're headed for. And Lord willing, that's salvation. So with that, I hope the segment was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to Lek up there, doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. Shalom.